type of questions are relating with the mean, and these questions are basically how in the sample size calculation, sample size n, small n. So that is the formula. Approximate the sample size required to estimate mean or total, tau mean total, with a bound on error of estimation. Okay, so this formula 5.6 is equally valid for both mean and total. Okay, and n is calculated by sum ni square sigma I square divided by ai divided by n square d plus summation ni sigma I square, I going from 1 up to L. So L is basically the number of stratas. L is number of strata. And if the question is relating with mean, so then D is B square over 4, and if question is relating with a total, then D is B square over 4n square. Okay, for tau and for mean. Okay, so here the important, what is the important part here? So the important part is the AI, that is the allocations. Okay, in the sample size calculation when the strata is involved, so AI, so this AI is the important factor here that is to be calculated as well separately. Okay, and AI is calculated by this formula, summation I going from 1 up to L. What is the formula? Ni sigma I Ni sigma I going from 1 up to L, isn't it? So that is the formula of AI. Okay, so let me open for 3 strata or 2 strata. For example, you have 2 stratas. So for A1, only for 2 strata, A1 is N1 sigma 1 divided by square root C1 divided by N1 sigma 1 and square root C1 plus N2 sigma 2 divided by square root 2. So that is the A1. And A2 is N2 sigma 2 square root C2 divided by N1 sigma 1 square root C1 plus N2 sigma 2 and square root C2. Okay, so these are the allocations formula. Okay, so when cost is same, for example, if it is mentioned that in the statement, if it is mentioned the cost is same, so what we do, we delete the cost factor from the numerator and the denominator. Okay, so A1 will be N1 sigma 1 divided by n1 sigma 1 plus n2 sigma 2, and a2 will be n1 n2 sigma 2, n1 sigma 1 plus n2 sigma 2. So at this point, when the cost is same, if it is mentioned in your statement, so your formula will be reduced to that. Okay, so when it is mentioned in your statement that the variance is also same from one strata to another strata, the variance is also same, so then it will be the special case when variance is same as well as cost is same. Both, if variance and cost is same, then a1 will be n1 over n1 plus n2, and a2 will be n2 over n1 plus n2. Okay, so that's how you could see that the allocation is changing. Okay, so you have the first type of allocation where the cost and the variance is, or the standard deviation is different from strata to strata. So that's how you will use this formula. When the cost is same but you might have different variance, so these formula will be used, and when the variance is same and the cost is same, then this formula will be used. Okay, so once you have a1 and a2, so then n1 is equal to na1, because after a1 calculation you will be able to calculate your small n. So once you have small n, then you could calculate your n1 and a2. So that's how you will calculate your n1 and n2 sample size calculation for each strata. Okay, sample size calculation for each strata. So this is one type of questions. One of the type is here. So we have seen already in the previous part, one type of question is relating with the mean. This is the formula. And another type of question might be relating with the variance, and here is the formula, and bound of error. So this one is the formula. Okay, so in the first part, mean, variance of the estimator, or the bound on error could be asked. So that is completed. Another type of questions, here we have another type of question, sample size. So in sample size we have the mean related question. First of all the mean related, and then secondly we have proportion related questions. So first of all we are discussing sample size for the mean related question. So the formula is here for calculation of n, and then you have for mu, d is equal to b square over 4, d is here, this one is the d, and for total, so d will be b square over 4n square. So you have AI formula, the allocation, that is the important part of the sample size. So we will calculate, and here are different scenarios for which we, and here is the final. Now we'll be moving to calculate the sample size for proportion.
Do we have another formula for n related to CI?
So now we are heading towards the proportion related question. Proportion related question. So first of all, we need to calculate the proportion. So what is proportion? So the proportion is x over n. That is basically a formula. or sometimes they write by this way, x over summation yi type of thing. Okay, that is also the total n. So mean you have the proportion. So you have proportion from strata 1, you have proportion from strata 2, you have proportion from strata 3. So we want the average proportion. So average proportion will be calculated by n1 p1, n2 p2, n3 p3 over n. So that is called the average proportion. Okay, the same manner, simply you could write in generalized form ni pi over 1 over n. So that is the formula of the proportion. So we have the sample size for proportion. Ni is equal to ni square pi qi over ai n square d plus summation ni pi qi, and ai is equal to summation ni pi and qi divided by square root ci divided by square root all. Yeah, it is square root for here as well. Square root of pi qi and ci, and we have square root of pi qi over ci, so that is ci. Okay, and sum is going from 1 up to L. L is the number of stratas basically. So if you have 2 strata, so it means that A1 is equal to N1 square root P1 Q1 over C1 divided by N1 square root P1 Q1 C1 plus N2 square root P2 Q2 over C2. Okay, so that is the formula. And in, of course, in special case, when the cost is same, so remove the C. Okay, when cost is same, then A1 is equal to N1 square root of P. No square root? We'll see that. So I'm not mentioning Ci. So square root of P1 and Q1 divided by N1 square root of P1 Q1 plus N2 of square root of P2 and Q2. Okay, so in case special case, when the cost is same, and A2 should be equal to N2 square root P2 Q2 divided by the same P1 Q1 plus N2 square root of P2 Q2. Okay, so that is the allocation formula for both mean and the proportion we have seen already. Now we'll talk about questions that might be interesting to see. So for example, let me show you one of the question. and we'll try to implement whatever we try to learn today. We'll see that. Let me turn on the recording. So from this example, we have found that n1 is 50 and n2 is 40. Now we just need to know about the sigma 1 and sigma 2. Okay, and also whatever the information what is given here, which will be useful for estimation of sample size, it will be collected from the statement. Now we could see that the range for the male is 10 grams, and for male, and 8 gram for female range. Okay, so range R1 is 10 and R2 is 8. So sigma 1 is basically 10 divided by 4, because if the range is divided by 4, you will get sigma 1, and range 2, which is 8 divided by 4, you will get sigma 2. Okay, so the formula is basically range divided by 4 is called the sigma. That is the formula. Range divided by 4 is called the sigma. So we have the range 10 divided by 4, we have the range 8 divided by 4, we got sigma 1 and sigma 2. Okay, so sigma 1 and sigma 2 indicating that this question is relating with the mean type of problem, not the proportion related problem. Are you getting the point? Okay, so we have estimated the sigma 1 is 2.5 and sigma 2 is 2. .5 and it is 2. So we have calculated, we have found n1, n2, we have identified sigma 1 and sigma 2. Okay, and now we have to see another part of the statement. How large a sample should be in order to estimate a population average with a bound of error of 1 gram. So 1 gram is B basically. Assume sampling cost is the same. So sampling cost is the same. So which formula should I use? So B is given by 1. So it means that D should be calculated as B square over 4. So 1 square over 4. So it is 0.25. So that is D we have calculated. So when the cost is same, so what is the allocation? AI is equal to N1 sigma 1 over N1 sigma 1 plus N2 sigma 2, because we have two statas only. So let me mark here A1 and A2. N2 sigma 2, N2 N1 sigma 1 plus N2 sigma 2. Okay, so we just need to put the values. N1 is 50 multiplied by 2.5 and denominator 50 into 2.5, 40 into 2. Same here, 40 into 2 over 50 into 2.5 plus 4 into 2. What is the answer? 0.609. 0. 390. Okay, so A1 and A2 is calculated here. Now what is the n? N is, we have just seen the formula, n summation ni square sigma I square over ai divided by n d square n square d plus that's it. So we just need to put the values inside the formula. We will open the formula n1 square sigma 1 square over a1 plus n2 sigma 2 square over a2 divided by n square, and and these we will write the terms, and n1 sigma 1 square plus n2 sigma 2 square. Now we will put all the values. So n1 is 50 square multiplied by 2.5 square divided by 0.609 plus n2 is 40 square 2 square 0.309. Okay, and n square is 90 square, d is 1 over 4 plus 50 into 2.5 square plus 40 into 2 square. So by putting all the values, what is n? 16.84, so which is around 17. Okay, around 17. So n1 is equal to na1 and n2 is equal to na2. So n is 17 multiplied by 0.609 and 17 multiplied by 0.309. Okay, so what is n1 and n2? 10 and 7 approximately. So these are the sample sizes. Yes, 10 and 7. Done. Okay. Question number 5.11. You could see that C11 cost is given and the cost is different as well. Okay, and sigma is given and sigma is different as well. It means both cost and the variation, mean standard deviation, is different. So it means that you will be calculating these values, these allocation, although it is given here, but you will calculate your allocation by yourself, because allocation required to calculate, what is allocation required? And capital N1, capital N2, N3, something like that, and sigma 1, sigma 2, sigma 3, and cost C1, C2, C3. That what allocation formula required. So it means that in this type of question you need to calculate your allocation by yourself. Okay, by using the formula of allocation. Are you getting the point? Okay, and here you could see that the budget is $500. So when they're talking about the budget is $500, so the meaning is that your cost of sampling on N1 plus cost of sampling on N2, C3 is the cost of sampling on N3. For example, if we have 3 strata, so for example, if the total cost, the budget we have $500, so that how it should be written. Okay, that how it should be written. So it means that we need to find N1, N2, N3 according to the total cost we have. Are you getting the point? So it means that we have to estimate, first of all, we have to estimate A1, A2, A3. So once we estimate A1, A2, A3, then we will be able to calculate N1, N2 and N3. Clear? Are you getting the point? So once you have A1, A2, because why A1, A2, A3 is required? Because C1, N1 is equal to NA1, C2, N2 is equal to NA2, and C3 and N3 is equal to NA3 is equal to $500. So from here you could take N out. So you will be remaining with C1, A1, C2, A2, C3, A3, $500. So in this part, if the cost is given, you will put all the values. So it means that what is missing? A1, A2 and A3. So you will be calculating your A1, A2 and A3 from the formula of allocations that we have discussed. You put all the values. So once all the values put inside, so then you will be able to calculate your N by the denominator. This will become the denominator here, C1, C2, C3, whatever the answer we have for this one. Okay, whatever the answer, I'm just mentioning the color. So this color will be divided to get your capital N. Okay, once the capital N is there, so it means that N1, N2, N3 could be calculated. Okay, so that is also the one of the important part.